Making Waves, the podcast to help enhance our personal development.
Welcome to another episode of the Making Waves podcast with your favourite trio. Only I say that. I don't know if you guys think that we're the favourite trio, but I think we're the favourite trio.
I think the Three Musketeers are the favourite trio.
Yes. Spiral Waves, yeah.
They are Tahan.
I'm 6 foot.
Okay, cool. So, funny enough, we're talking about our childhood in this episode, and you guys are already acting as children, so it's a good start. It's a good start, guys.
Why is it whenever you're hosting, you always come for us?
Look, you guys come for me, I have to come back.
Unnecessary violations, isn't it?
For real.
So, we're talking about our childhood in this episode. Do hit the subscribe button for all of the waves that we're going to make in the future, and do keep up to date on Instagram at Waves of Positivity Official for future events, workshops, and more. So, guys, the first question is, give us an introduction of how you were as a kid or a teenager, starting with essay. And when I say introduction, I mean like just quick description of how you were. Could be a few words, could just be a couple sentences.
I was usually a quiet kid growing up in primary school. When I went to secondary school, became a bit more confident, a bit more loud, until I became the person I'm today, the loudest person in every damn room I enter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Adil?
How can you say that you're the loudest in the room when I'm in the room?
Oh, you don't know.
But I am louder than you, man. So for me, as a kid, I was chubby and bubbly. That's the way I describe myself. Confident as hell. I would talk to anyone and everyone, and that would put me in a lot of trouble. I said this in the previous episode.
Primary school kid, yeah?
In the primary, I was the naughtiest kid in the classroom.
Cool.
But I was also, I loved learning when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And into secondary school, because of the bullying, because of my weight, it made me drop down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, I was chubby and bubbly, man. Like, you'd love me.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I was that kid that everyone loved.
Sick. When I was a child, I was very spontaneous and active, like really active. Again, naughty. When I was a teenager, so secondary school, I used to lie a lot. I had a bad habit of lying to family, friends, everything. I was kind of deviant. I was funny. I was always about jokes, being a clown, etc. And I was creative. I was very creative. And I was into my clothing. I was very into my clothing, like branding and stuff like that.
That's why you came in the drip today.
That's what I came to say, but even then, but back then, that was my priority in money, spending money then. The priority has changed now. So yeah.
Into making money.
Yes. Or
making waves, that's what
being
I'm
the
about.
brand owner, you know. Wink, wink. So now we're going to move into the segment of getting to know how our childhood was, because I'm not sure how much you guys think about how your childhood was, and you know, every single day. Do you remember every single memory kind of thing? So the first question is do you remember much of your childhood, and how often do you reflect on it?
I remember everything about my childhood, man.
Really?
Everything. Wow. So I'm originally from Gloucester, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down south. And with Gloucester, it's a very small, tight-knit community, and a lot of my relatives used to live there as well. So as a kid, I told you, I was very naughty, right? So I used to steal little toys from my classroom, and I used to get in bare trouble for it, because basically my mom, alhamdulillah, I've always been brought up very, I was given everything that I wanted. Like, if I wanted something, my parents would get it for me. So I was spoiled as a kid. But in relation to that, I was also a deviant kid, because when it came down to attention and everything, I was a proper attention seeker. I'd do anything to make the classroom laugh at me, be the class clown. And everyone in the class used to love me when I was in primary. And then as I moved from Gloucester to Leicester, new people, knew everything. So I used to get on a lot with the kids there, but because I put on weight, moving from a different community, I used to sit at home playing games by myself all the time, or being out on the streets playing with all the other kids. But I used to eat a lot, man. Like, bro, at one time, right, I'm really going to dive into here. At one point, I ate 7 bounties. To the chocolate bounty, yeah. I ate 7 bars of those.
Elite chocolate, by the way.
Elite chocolate.
It is nice, man.
7.
But I had 7. Yeah. As I got older into my teenage years, I used to get a packet of crisps. So I couldn't have one by itself. I used to open a packet of crisps, open another one and put it in. And hope my mum didn't realise, because my mum was really trying to make me watch my weight, because I was starting to put on a serious amount of weight. Doctors were warning her that this kid's very unhealthy now, you need to make him lose some weight. Alhamdulillah, now in very good shape, but back then, yeah, it's chubby, and I used to eat my food, eat my way out of my problems.
You were what I am now.
Sadly, you ain't got the weight to match, bro.
I just realised. So you were the liar. You were the stealer. What does that make me? The cheater.
What you
Wait,
cheat?
You lie, you steal, and you cheat. Okay, clearly you guys didn't know that. But it's funny, yeah. Like you said, like, do you remember stuff from your childhood? I don't remember much, but now since you guys are mentioning like you guys stealing and lying, I remember
still.
No, yeah, Adil still toys. I remember the first time I
I
stole.
didn't steal. By the way, I'm not gonna say I stole it. My mum worked at that school. I used to have to wait behind, play with the toys, and then take it with me.
Yeah,
when I went
borrowing
home.
without permission is the same as stealing, bro.
But I had no intention to steal. I'm just gonna put it out there, yeah. I know I use the word stealing, but
I remember the first time I stole. Yeah, I remember it so clearly. So
he's a thief as well. Why is he coming at me?
He's a bandit.
So
Sully's looking at us. By the way, I'm gonna show this right now. Yeah, when I edit this, Sully's just watching us and he's just judging us. He's like,
Nah, I'm interested. I want to know.
his eyes are burning through.
I want to hear. I want to hear what you've been stealing.
So it wasn't nothing major. I remember the first time I stole, and I was at madrasa, so evening classes, religious studies, and basically the culture back then was like if you have some change, you go to the shop afterwards and you just like buy sweets, like literally 10p, 20p, whatever you had, and every single like pretty much every day, yeah. And I didn't really have that luxury. Like I'll probably go to the shops and buy some sweets maybe like once a week, and I see my friends do it every day. So I remember the guy who was sitting next to me, he had a 20p coin and he was playing with it, and he dropped it and he was trying to find it, and I kind of like rolled to where I was sat. So I took it.
Oh my days!
So I took it and I kind of like hid it further. Like it's impossible like it went like that far away. So I just like hid it behind like a table like a butler.
Butler, yeah.
And then I was like pretending to help him to find it.
Oh, you're peak.
I was like, bro, it's gone.
It was
so gone.
mad.
And then this guy was obviously he's a bit upset, but he knows he's gonna get money tomorrow, or when his parents pick him up, he'll probably get some sweets. So it's calm for him, yeah. And so I was like, yes, like he's like in his heart, he's let go of that 20p, he's lost it. So I'm chilling. So I took that 20p after, and I remember I went to the shop just outside and I bought these 5p chewing gums. Do you remember about the one with the juice inside?
Oh yeah, the red, blue, and green.
Yeah.
They were they lost about 7 seconds.
Yeah. The 7 happiest second of a child's life. Those chewing gums.
Yeah.
So I remember I bought 4 of them, and I went home and I was obviously like chomping down on them, and I was happy, yeah, and my mum noticed that I was having them, and she asked me where did I get them from, and she knew she didn't give me no money, and obviously where else am I gonna get money from apart from her or my dad, and she goes, where'd you get it from? I was like, I just found it. She goes, nah, where'd you get it from? And then I told her like my friend dropped the coin. And I took it and I spent it. Like obviously I was a kid, like I'm talking 6 years old, 7 years old. I didn't know any better. And I remember my mom, the pure-hearted person she is, she goes, take this 20p and give it back to your friend tomorrow. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that I took the 20p. So what I did was I placed it.
More.
No, I'm not that cruel. So I put the 20p on the floor again.
Yeah.
And then literally, it's so weird. Like literally, he comes in. And he sat down like 10 minutes into a class. I'm like, bro, I found your 20p. He was here all alone. And I gave it him. And he was gassed. He got his 20p. But yeah, for some reason, I remember that so vividly, so clearly. Yeah.
So you were smart, yeah?
Bro,
You were smart.
I was an intelligent child. Don't get me
So you
wrong.
knew what you were doing.
Do you know what I'm seeing right now?
Do you know what I'm more
I'm
disappointed
seeing
in?
a hustler, bro.
Yeah, I'm more disappointed in the fact that you bought 5
Bro, he got his
chewing
sweets.
gums.
He got his sweets.
Yeah.
I got my sweets.
So you owe your mum 20p. This is evidence.
No, my mom gave me the 20p to give to him,
Okay.
innit?
You know what? At least we know.
At least we know who SA really is.
That was just like a confession,
You were
for me, bro.
6. I was 3, 4. I was borrowing. You knew what you were doing.
Bro, borrowing. Technically, I borrowed it from him. I gave it back to him.
Even on interest. It was a loan. Interest-free loan.
Yeah, exactly.
Without permission.
Bro,
And no contract.
as kids.
Do you know how I would justify this right now? Yeah. If your mom didn't give you that 20p initially, right? She didn't want to give the 20p the next time, but she did it because of your poor actions. So really and truly, this displays that you hustled your own mother.
Bro, you could call it
You
what you
hustled
want.
her out.
I don't know why you're trying to call it other things. I've already said it was I stole. Like, why are you trying to? What are you doing here, bro?
You made me feel guilty, man.
For me, I remember my childhood at different times. Like, I'll be honest with you, I think about it here and there, especially if memories come up. Or you bump into someone from your childhood and they talk about, remember this time, remember that time. That happens a lot, especially when I bump into friends from primary school. They'll be like, oh, I remember this time we came to your house and this happened, that happened. And then it just gives you like a flashback. Oh, yeah, I do remember that actually. So that's when I do think about my childhood. Other than that, it's just like you only think about it here and there. When it's
But
the
I
memories.
remember literally everything. I
I
remember
remember
all
a
the
lot.
embarrassing things I've done.
Yeah. That's the that's the thing. I remember as well. Sometimes like, especially at night, insomnia. If you can't sleep and you just think about what happened that time there, and you just proper go into it and you kind of map out what happened after, what happened before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can remember like full 24 hours of every single day kind of thing, but I do remember a lot of things, a lot. And I don't know why. Does it ever strike you at random times as well?
Yeah, a lot, man.
Just
A lot.
randomly.
Pretty much every day. Like it's like the unlocking of memories. Like they're stored so far back in your mind. It's like a crypt,
Yeah.
and certain things trigger it to unlock, and you're like, oh crap, I remember that. I remember that.
So in a few words,
A Pandora's box, isn't it?
in a few words, in a few sentences, what were the best things about your childhood? There's always a thing that we see out there that I swear we all shared the same childhood, jumping over sofas to avoid the lava and whatever. But now, what was the best parts of your childhood? What were the best things that you can put into words?
Mine is like this basically made up my childhood. So I didn't really interact or socialize much in school. All my socializing happened outside of school with my cousins, my older brother, and four of my cousins. So six of us. We're all similar age, like 2-3 years gap, and we used to hang out at every single possible opportunity, especially when like we get together with our grandparents' house, and like weekends and stuff. We get together and we just hang out, and obviously like we used to play a lot of PlayStation, but during the day we would try to go out as much as we could, and the way we used to have fun was by having what we called missions, and these missions were basically like. I'm making it out like I'm a criminal, but trespassing essentially.
Yeah.
So we used to like go into like private property and just muck about. So there's like I don't know if you guys know, there's a Next factory like at the back of St. Saviour's Road.
Yeah.
So my grandma used to live in that area like back in 2010, maybe even earlier than that. So when we used to go like to her house, that's one of the places we used to like infiltrate proper. So we used to like climb over, go into the factory, and they have offices as well. So there's an office block, and at the back of it there's a staircase that goes winds up and goes to the roof. So I remember we used to like set challenges like who can go the highest, and basically because it's an office, there's people there and they can see you. And so if you get caught, you got to run all the way down and run back through the alleyway and sort of get through the gate. So I remember one time, we all went together all the way to the top. There was no one in the offices, and we got to the top, and there was people inside the offices, and they looked at us, and basically they could see us, and they were like miming to us or like signing to us like, "What are you doing? Get out!" And they called security. So we ran all the way down, and the security was coming from the gate that we need to escape from, because that's the only way out. The other way is like fully like you need a passcode to get through. So we're like, shit, what do we do? And the staircase, we all, six of us hit that, not six of us, I think there's 4 or 5 of us, we hid under the stairs, like under like a staircase, imagine a staircase, we hid under it and like crawled under it. And this guy comes and he's looking for us and he's shouting and stuff. And then we waited for like 5 minutes or something, wait for him to go. And we came back out, we went back, and bro, we just had the biggest laugh of our lives. Like it was so much fun. And although like trespassing, obviously you shouldn't be doing that, but like is probably like most memorable moment of my young childhood. I love spending time with my 4 cousins and my brother. It was just amazing.
Sick. So yeah, Aadil, what about you? What was your highlight of your childhood? Like what was the best parts of it?
Very much similar to SA's, because I moved from Gloucester to Leicester. A lot of my friends that I'd met, I had a couple of friends from Leicester, but a lot of my best memories were spent back in Gloucester, or I had cousins in Newport, spending time with them, doing like crazy things. Like we'd literally go trespass onto a rugby pitch and play football there, stuff like that. Like, your best memories are spent doing things that you're not supposed to do, man.
Yeah.
We don't condone
As a child.
trespassing, but as a child, when you get the best thrills from doing things you're not supposed to be doing, and test how far you can go and just do as much as you can and get away with it.
Yeah.
If you get away, it's
So yeah, exactly what you two said. That combined, but looking at it as like a halo.
I've got
effect.
one memory. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
It was so lit.
Go on.
So when I moved to Leicester,
Yeah.
I had two friends of mine. They were just like daring kids. Like these two, when I say that, they would do anything possible. They'll do it, right? And they're the kind of kids who would go on a monkey bar and see how far back I can lean with just my feet and stuff like that. Just doing like things that I couldn't do. My size would not allow me to do it. But one time in summer, we had like 6 of us playing football, and we were like, yo, we want a massive 11-a-side. So people are walking in the park, and this is back in, say, 2008, 2009. We just call random people in the park in time to join us. I'm talking about 18, 19-year-old guys, and there's even like this 25-year-old dude joined us to play football, and it was so lit, man. Like,
We used to do that as well. We used to do that as well. Like Spinny, find a match.
Spinny was just always find a match, we'll get in the game, that's it, just
Yeah.
play kind of
Those
thing.
were vibes.
Defo. So from all of that as a halo effect, I think like literally what you guys are saying is, as I said, we've all shared the same childhood. Most of us have. I would say it's the freedom, it's the no stress of what's next, what's earlier. It's like you just go with the flow. Like being a child going with the flow is completely different to as an adult. Because when you're a child, you're just told what to do, and you do this and you do that, and you go here, go there, come back home, you eat. You don't know what you're gonna do next. It's just always spontaneous. On top of that, doing all these activities, you'd have a sleepover that same night. So it was just like fun, non-stop fun. So you go out, you do these deviant little acts as a child, you trespass, you play football, then you come back and play PlayStation. Then you're like, Mom, Dad, can they sleep over? Can we go over there? And that just topped it all up. And then the next day, if it's a Sunday, it's just the same thing all over again. Or if it's a holiday. So those are just like never-ending fun. Like it's fun.
Sleepovers were the best. We used to like play. And that back then it was the PlayStation 2.
PlayStation and that, innit?
Yeah.
So what we used
time,
to do,
what we used to do,
Especially when it's too late and you're not supposed to be playing.
Yeah, so what we used to do, when we used to sleep over, my grandma's all 6 of us, we'd all like be in like the living room or in the big bedroom. So we'd all basically sleep in one room, and obviously set up the PlayStation and we'd play. Because back then we used to play multiplayer games. We used to play a lot of Midnight Club 2, SmackDown versus Raw 2006. And we used to play James Bond game as well, multiplayer. And so yeah, we'd play and we'd try to keep as quiet as we can, because obviously we want to wake our grandparents up. And then like obviously when you're playing excited, so you scream or whatever, or you rage, then they wake up and you can hear them coming either down the stairs or across the hall. Quickly switch the things off, make sure we don't turn the PS2 off, just cover the light, everyone go in their duvet and cover up, everyone's silent. Then they look, bro, grandparents are stupid, innit?
Yeah.
But they're just like checking in it, and then they go back out. We'll wait for a couple of minutes, slowly get back out and start playing again. Bro, I used to love that. And same with like wrestling. We used to wrestle a lot. So same with that. Like we'd wrestle, make so much noise, and then they'd come in and we'd all just like pretend we're doing nothing.
Yeah. Even watching movies that are not for your age, or scary movies at such a young age. Wow. Alien vs Predators was one of them.
For me, it was Saw. Like,
Saw was
so
sick.
weird. Like I was literally a 10-year-old kid.
Grudge?
Grudge,
Wow, scary, man.
Yeah, but
Grudge
these
was
horror movies were
sick,
sick. Like, especially as a kid, it's just like you really want to know. And as a kid, it's funny to say, but we had so much guts in ourselves to just do something and go for it.
We didn't have socials to distract us like that, innit? Only in high school we had socials. When we were younger, there was nothing.
It was just different. And I remember these memories I'm talking about are specifically year 6 time, like still in primary school before I've even moved to secondary. So okay, moving on to the next segment is.
Before we go on to the next segment, one thing I want to remind everyone of, see if you did this as well, but when you were younger, did you ever like try sneak downstairs and like just go chill in the kitchen and like wherever was sleeping?
I knew you was gonna say that.
So what me and my cousins did, and even my friends when they used to come over sleep in my house, we'd have to sleep in my bedroom, right, or in the cousin's bedroom, and while everyone was asleep, you sneak downstairs and you just chill in the kitchen eating snacks. Like it felt like an adult, because you know our parents, like whenever their uncles and aunties were down here, they used to chill in the living room, in the kitchen, eating whatever they wanted to. We weren't allowed to have like Snickers and like sweets and stuff at night time. So what we'd do is we'd sneak downstairs, pretend we're like adults and everything, just chill there, eating whatever we wanted to, and just never getting caught. Did any of you guys do that?
I didn't
I
do
don't know,
that. We
like,
done a lot of things
really,
to not get caught with loads of kind of stuff, but not
Yeah,
not
not
get to
that.
get. But that, see again, but it's the same line. It's like you're doing things knowing it's wrong behind your parents' back just to be naughty, and you feel happy about it. You feel proud.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something like yes.
And it doesn't slap
accomplishment.
nowadays, does it? Like it used
Yeah,
to
because
then.
back then, you think that you've pulled the wool over like your parents' eyes or your grandparents'
Oh,
eyes,
they knew what we were
but
doing.
they knew all along.
But because they were children once upon a time, they have to understand.
Like hindsight, I'm thinking I was such an idiot. Like my mum knew every time I lied. My mum knew every time I was doing something I shouldn't do. Like what the hell was the point?
Exactly.
But that's what gave me the thrill as a child. And
Yeah.
that's what makes these. Like,
One
great
thing as
memories.
well was just the fact that you could, like there was a thing saying that nowadays you ring someone when you're outside, but when you're a kid you just go out, or you'd see like a bunch of bikes lying outside someone's house, so you know they're there. Do you know what I mean? These little things, like you would never see someone be like, oh, come to Spinney at this time. It was a few things like, okay, come to Spinney Hill Park and play football at 9 on a Saturday morning. But other than that, it was like spontaneous. You go out and you will see that because you know they're gonna be there on that weekend at that time, summer. Ice cream van sound, all of that happening in the background. You have that £2 in your pocket and you can buy an ice cream and a drink.
Yeah, I used to go cycling a lot. So from like year 4, specifically up until like year 7, I used to go cycling pretty much every single day I could. So me, my friend Abdi Fatah, and it was mainly us two, but sometimes it would be another couple of lads maybe. We used to go cycling every single weekend. Like whenever the weather was clear, bang, out cycling. Even me, or sometimes my brother or my cousins, but us two in particular. I remember we used to just basically like explore Leicester. That's how we used to do it. And I remember one time I went for a takeaway with my parents, and it was on a Melbourne road, but I'd never been there on my own. And I remember, do you remember Sizzlers?
Yeah.
So they used to do this mega box.
I remember that
like,
as well.
It was fries, special doner, chicken wings,
yes.
and fried piece
Top
of chicken.
notch stuff.
Bro, that meal used to slap.
Yeah.
So I remember one day I had a £5 and I was like to my two mates, I was like, yo, let's go cycling. I want to take you to a spot. So we went cycling, and do you know like Mere Road, like that's a massive hill. So we cycled up to that hill and down. Bro, we loved doing that. And I remember we went to Sizzlers, locked our bikes outside. We grabbed I only had a £5, so I got 2 like grilled like burger mixes. And I got an extra box of fries, and us three were just sitting there, just like yamming our food, bro.
Best memories ever.
Sick.
Man.
Just that
So
again,
sick.
that wasn't planned, was it? It was just gone out your way. Talking about bikes, there was a time once in Spinney I was going down on my bike, and the connector of the brakes fell off the bike, and imagine I went straight into a tree, bro. Like straight onto a tree. Front wheel of the bike, my jaw hit the tree, badly injured. And this is funny, yeah. This is the funniest part. You guys are gonna die, yeah. Do you know who I was with that day? I was with Looney. I don't know if you guys know Looney.
Yeah.
And I was with Abdullah from Radio Zero.
Oh, yeah.
He was there because he's Looney's younger cousin, yeah?
Yeah.
So he was there. So he saw that happen, and he went to Looney and them, and he's like, Sully just died. Sully died. He's like, yo, he's dead.
Do you know what? The funny thing is, you know Zach? He did the exact same thing. So we were stupid. We were racing down Spinney Hill, and like for those of you that don't know, it's a steep hill,
As a
especially
kid.
for cycling and cycling while racing on a pathway. So basically, we were cycling down, first one down. So we're on the side where the cage is. So cycling down that side of the hill, and basically we're at the top of the hill, and we're like first one to go past the cage wins. Yeah. So as you can imagine,
It's very wiggly as well.
yeah, it's wiggly in it. So there's I think there was either 3 or 4 of us that we were racing. So we 3, 2, 1, go bang, and we're bombing it down the hill, yeah. And the path steers to the left towards the cage, and then back right towards the main park, and like where the finish line was essentially. So what I did, because I was on the right, I went across the grass verge. I didn't follow the path. I went through the grass verge to get back onto the path.
Cheated.
And and basically Zach was all the way to the left, and so he turned left, and for some reason he couldn't control it. He couldn't turn back right, so he went straight towards the cage, full speed. And you know how they have the barrier, the poles. So his bike went straight, bang. Oh wait, that sounds not good enough for the podcast. Bang!
You mean you blink?
Straight into the pole, yeah, like this horizontal pole, and he just crumpled over the pole. Back wheel went up, and he came and he like slumped to the floor, and we were shook. Like we were like, holy crap, that was a mad impact. So we all like get back together and we call the ambulance, and he's on the floor like not really responding in it. And then the ambulance come over. The ambulance come over. They come in and they take him into the ambulance, and we're like on the phone to his dad, and we're like telling his dad to come and stuff. And then I remember he comes out, yeah. I don't know if he wants me to share this, but he comes out. Cause like they want to check if he's got injuries, yeah. He's like, oh, they had to check like my legs, my trousers, to take it off and stuff. I was dying, yeah. But he was okay in it. It was just kind of like the impact kind of shocked him a bit. But I remember that, yeah. And but we used to do a lot of stupid stuff back in the day. But I loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
What was like? I want to know like what was like one of the biggest, like, stupidest things that you did that caused injury, or that you know that it caused injury to someone that was with you?
Mine's is really stupid, so I'll let you go first.
You go first, because...
Alright, let's see who's the most stupid.
Okay, so mine was, it wasn't even in the UK, it was in Turkey. I was 12 years old, and we were doing quad biking. Obviously, as a 12-year-old, that's pretty, intense.
That's really young, man.
Really young. So done that, and obviously you're not as strong as adults. So when the steering goes another way, you can just turn it the other way. But as a kid and short arms, everything like that, the reach is just a bit harder. So I went over one rock when we were on the thing, and I accelerated a bit more, and I kind of lost control, and I went off this. It's not a cliff. I wouldn't describe it as a cliff. I'd call it
like a hill.
Verge.
A verge, yeah. So it's a 2-story worth though. So like from here where we are down, so it's about two floors worth. I went face down. I went through a bush of thorns, and landed with the quad bike on top of me.
No way.
Yeah, like that. But my adrenaline kicked in. I just pushed the quad bike off me, stood up, I looked up. All of the tourists are staring at me like, "What the hell has this kid just done?" They probably thought I was dead. They probably thought it was because it was just weird, like spiraling up this weird thing. I can't explain it. And I had this deep cut into my leg, and it was crazy, man. Like that, I thought, what the hell? Like legit, I did in that moment. I was so shocked. Just whilst going down, I thought I was gonna die. Like what the hell? What even happened?
That's scary.
Yeah,
man.
well scary. It was well scary, bro. 2 floors worth. Trust me, it was mad. Like I can't explain.
Man, it was a stunt, man.
And imagine the tourists, like what they must have thought this kid's just done. Like he's just driven off this verge, bro, and just landed and I'm looking up at them like, you're fine, no problem. And then
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah,
That must have been shit.
that was my stupidity. Stupidity / I'd say.
I wouldn't say stupid.
I would say it was more like. I would say it's more like courageous, and I was overly brave.
That,
I was overly brave with it. But being 12, doing a whole quad bike, and before going on it, they even say that we're not responsible for your death or injuries.
Yeah. It was irresponsible.
Very responsible for myself.
Yeah.
Alright, so mine is actually more stupid than yours. Mine is just me trying to be a hero and fit in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you, I got those boys who are they were really crazy in it. Like, they wanted to try and do everything. So it's not really crazy, but we're trying to. Do you know how you get that wheel? That's a tire.
Oh, that you swing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that tire, and we're just trying to see if we can get it to loop all the way around.
Oh no.
So I was sat on it, being a really heavy kid. With one of my other boys, and there's one lad just pushing the tyre and trying to get momentum, and we're swinging our legs trying to get the tyre to go all the way around. So I tried to do that, and midway through I got really shook, and I was like, yo, stop it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too high. And my other boy was like, no, I'm not stopping it. It's too late. I can't stop it. You're going to have to keep going. So he just kept pushing it, and I was getting really shook. And we got to about, say, this is the wheel, right? And it's going here. We're not really over, but we're getting near enough. Yo, bun this.
Is that spinny?
No, this is at Evington Park.
Okay.
So it's spinning, it's going high up, we're going boom, boom. I'm like, yo, bun this, let me just jump off. So it comes about here, I was waiting for it to come down, I jump off the tyre. My other boy's like, Aadil, what are you doing, bro? It's too high up. I jump off and I'm straight on my face.
Ooh.
And that's me being stupid, bro. No, just on the ground, bro. Oh, and it's like that wooden gravel thing. Do you know
bark?
The bark, the bark.
Yeah.
So I go face flat straight onto it, and I'm just like, I'm KO'd, bro.
Man got RKO'd out of nowhere, yeah, but with no Randy Orton.
No, but it just shows me when I was younger, I was like that. I was that kid who I'd be with the crowd that's doing the daring stuff, but I'd get a bit shook of doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I'm not built for this. I'm built like you.
Crazy, man. So I want to move on to the next segment, which is lessons learned and the future made. The first question in this segment is what was the most deviant and naughtiest thing you've done in secondary school?
In second, oh,
Around that era, the
mine
naughtiest, the work that probably got you the most trouble,
is, yeah.
or you look back and I'm an idiot for doing that.
Okay, so you guys know about this one, and every single year it pops up on my Facebook like as a memory, and every single year I reshare it. So it's like that one time all my friends from like in that group get together, have a conversation about it, and then we disperse and get back to our lives. And it's really funny. So in school, in the teacher's eyes, I was an ideal student. Yeah, let's say that. So like I used to do my work, I used to get my grades, and it was happy days. I used to get detentions a lot for being late and not doing homework, but apart from that, I was an ideal student, let's say. And so I remember one time, it was lunchtime, and a kid had like these like pickled chilies, and they were eating it, and basically I came to them when they started doing this like chili challenge, and they were eating it, and they were like, oh, this is easy, like a couple of them found it hard, but I was like, guys, this isn't even a challenge. If you want a challenge, let me sort out a challenge, yeah? So they were like, I was like, I can bring these chilies that are like 300,000 Scoville units, like I can pattern you guys.
Scotch bonnets, yeah.
So they were like, yeah, okay, calm. So I'm like feeling gas, like this, like as a kid, when you're center of attention from your boys, bro, it's a sick feeling, innit? So I'm there like gassed, yes. I remember so clearly, yeah. I went into pack foods and I got these Scotch bonnet chilies, put it in the bag, went to the till, I bought it, and bro, that's so weird for a child of my age to go in there and buy Scotch bonnets, nothing else.
Customer wants, customer gets.
So I go back, obviously I don't tell anyone, there's no point telling, there's no reason to tell my parents or my siblings, so I just put it in my school bag. Next day I go in, and basically my intention was to do it after school, because I know this is like a big thing. So at break time, we all meet, and I'm like, guys, I got the chilies, I got the goods, I got the stuff. And they were like, yo, come, like, let's do it, it's gonna be light work. I was like, guys, you need to be ready for this, yeah? Then, so break time finishes, lunchtime comes, we're all meeting, I'm thinking we're just gonna play football and whatnot. And they were like, yo, Sully's got the chilies, and there's more people gathering now. And they were like, I was like, yeah, we'll do it after school, innit? They're like, nah, let's just, so one guy goes, let me just do it now, innit? Let me just, like, try it out. So I was like, nah, I'll do it after school. Then they were like, okay, let him just do it then. So I was like, fair enough. So I pull out the bag of chilies and I give him one, and he has it, and his head blows off. He's gone. He's fully gone. And he's like drinking water, getting juice down, everything, trying to like cool his mouth down. And everyone's dying of laughter. And then they were like, oh, let's like, obviously, like, you're young men, you're like, bro, I can do it. So basically they peer pressure me into like, instead of doing after school, do it now at lunchtime. So I'm like, okay, like there's too many of these guys, I can't, like, let's just get it out of the way, let's just do it. So we start handing the chilies out, and this one kid, yeah, he touches his eyes. So he's basically out of the game before he even starts, like his eyes are burning, so he's like out of it. And I think maybe 7 to 8 people were there doing the challenge at this point now. So there's this one Chinese dude, he's recording on his BlackBerry. Remember Blackberries? Yeah. He's recording his BlackBerries, proper potato quality. And so we're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Bang, crunch. Yeah, so they start eating it. But man, I ain't eating this. I know what this chili does to you, yeah? I ain't eating this. I'm not stupid. So these guys eat it, and one by one, you see the reaction. One by one. One guy farmed it, you know, like he wasn't making any sound or anything. He was just keeping quiet, having his drink. There was another guy, like his face just scrunched up. He could have handled it. And the one guy who basically got me caught, he was trying to act like a big man. He had it by, we were recording him, then he's just like fabbing it, and after 30 seconds you can see he's gone. Yeah. He just runs away. He runs back into the school. And what I hear afterwards is that he was running up and down the corridor, screaming, my ears are burning.
What the hell?
And he goes into, like, you know how the medical aid?
Yeah.
So he goes in there, and they're like asking him what's going on. He's like, my ears. I'm thinking, why is this guy's ears burning? And so they're like, they give him milk and stuff, yeah. And this Chinese guy, my friend, yeah, he's recording, and throughout the whole clip, you just hear him saying, oh shit, oh, and then, the video on Facebook, yeah, you just hear, oh shit, oh shit.
Oh shit, look at that, yo shit.
Oh shit. And you can see everyone's like, half the people are dying of laughter, and the other half are dying of pain. So obviously lunch ends, and the pain of Scotch bonnet, like at first it burns your mouth. So for some people it burns their throat, and once it goes in your stomach, it burns your stomach, and it's very unsettling. So we're in our classes. I remember I was in math class, and I remember the vice principal comes in, and she asked me to come outside. And everyone, even the teachers, like shocked, like what the hell, like him? Why do you want him? What has he done? And basically, I stand up to walk out, and she goes, "Go get your bag, bring your bag." And that's when I knew someone snitched.
And
it
grass
was,
job,
so we go out, and she sits me down, and she's like to me, she doesn't know what Scotch bonnets are, luckily, and she doesn't know how hot they are. So
she must be unseasoned.
She just thinks it's a chili challenge.
So she must be unseasoned, yeah.
Yeah, she was a white British lady.
I just want to say unseasoned. Okay.
But anyways, so she makes me.
Everyone knew what you're on about.
She makes me pull the chilies out of the bag and put it on the table, and she's like, "You know what you did?" I was like, "Yeah." I was very casual about it. She goes, "We're gonna have to tell your mom. You do realize that this could have caused someone to like faint, that someone could be allergic. We almost called an ambulance for one kid." And she was like, "You do understand?" I goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "We're gonna have to tell your parents." I goes, "Cool, whatever." So obviously I'm kind of shook. So I go back in class, and school finishes. This is the last lesson of the day, and I meet my friends again, and they're telling me that one of the ladies from the medical aid came around giving them milk in class. Bro, I was dying. Like the one guy, he basically passed out in English class, and basically the kid who snitched basically gave the names in it and said like, "Oh, you need to look out for these guys."
Wow,
So
you always get that one person, man.
But fair enough, bro, these guys are dying. So she goes around, imagine, you're sitting in class and a teacher comes in and goes, calls you by your name and says, "Oh, here's a glass of milk for you to calm down." Bro, that's embarrassing, isn't it?
You need some milk.
So this is what they're telling me afterwards, bro. I was dying, like, yo, you guys got milk given to you at this big age in class.
You didn't even try it.
And then, I go home, I'm shook, Then my mom goes, "I got a call from school today." I was like, "Yeah, I know." And she goes, "Oh, they said that you were giving green chilies out." So I didn't say shit. I was like, "Yeah, I gave green chilies out." And she goes, "Oh, how did everyone react?" I was like, "Yeah, they found it hot." Basically, she didn't realize the severity of it. I don't think it got transpired to her, like what happened. And she didn't know it's Scotch bonnet, so she just assumed it was green chilies. And obviously for us Asians, it's like calm. That's standard.
That is calm. I can vouch.
Bro, that's like a memory that we
Mum's now
always
gonna know
remember.
the truth.
No, she already knows. Obviously,
Okay.
I already told her already, and she laughs at it and stuff. But this was so funny. Like, I might put up a clip on our YouTube for people to see, like a little bit of oh
put
shit.
Yeah,
So
you can say
funny.
all I could hear in the video was, and then put the B-roll there. Like,
it's
that'd
so
be funny.
Amazing.
That'd be jokes. Oh, that's sick, man. Adil, what's the notice thing?
Nothing on that level, man. That was ridiculous, bro. That was crazy.
What did you learn from your mistake, though?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, man.
That people can't handle spice.
Nah, I didn't. Like, for me, it wasn't like an evil thing or a bad thing. Like, it wasn't a mistake, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
It was still something, as she said, put someone at risk or something.
yeah.
So what did you learn from it? Just not
Get
to do.
hot chilies, man.
Hot chilies.
Because that way they'll pass out and they can't snitch on me.
No. Next time you give it to snitches only. Say this is a magic mushroom. For me, there's three things that was the maddest in secondary school. First thing was, because obviously most of us used to live in Highfields when we used to go by a bus together. So private school bus we used to have, and we'd sit on the top deck of the bus, and they had these like windows that you can slide open. And once me and my mate we picked up a bus seat and we threw it out and everything to the road. Huh?
Bus seat.
A bus seat.
Oh, a whole bus seat.
A bus seat. We picked up a bus seat and we threw it out the window. Just being naughty, stupid, and deviant. We dashed it, and it was near.
This guy's trying to kill people.
It was near the care home. No, it was on the road. We just it outside the window, so it landed on the road just for jokes, And then someone people seeing on BBM on the status, people like, "Yo, I just seen a Judge Meadow bus seat on the road. What's this? Yo, what happened? This that." And next day, we all got in trouble on it. But because no one snitched, they didn't ever find out who it was. So it was just like a game.
Told off the whole bus.
We had snitches. This guy had no snitches.
Yeah, no, we had. The thing is, them lot didn't necessarily snitch. It was just like it was one of these lot and points it out at the group of us. But we're not gonna point it at each other. So it's like I don't know, and there's no evidence. So like it just went out. But that was stressful. That one time, that was one. Another time we done fireworks in the field. I don't know who brought them in, but we just ended up doing fireworks in the field. In school on the field
During school.
During school, we done fireworks on the field, bro.
What the hell?
On the field, we don't know how someone brought it in, but obviously everyone just starts running. Our year was messed.
What
Our
kind
year.
of fireworks was it? They're like really loud ones.
The ones that like they're not
The ones that
they're not
whistle
amazing.
up.
Yeah, the ones that whistle up and then they explode. But
Yeah.
nothing amazing because probably not expensive ones. But someone brought a few and then we just ended up like using them.
Did you get caught?
Was it from Diwali?
I didn't get it personally. Trouble. I don't know who did, but it didn't really go out there that much. It didn't circulate.
Well, when did you fire it off? Was it what Diwali season?
Random, bro.
Random.
Random.
nowadays.
Our year was messed, bro. When I say our year was messed, like so many people were naughty, so it was hard to keep up with who's. Do you know what I mean? Who's it?
Oh, question for you.
Yeah.
And it's away from like your main question. But did any of you guys stress a teacher out so much that they had to quit?
We didn't necessarily, but this teacher was a bit emotional, really a bit overly emotional. I feel like
Oh.
feel like she was getting a lot of stress from different classes. But the stuff we done wasn't personal to her. It was just messing about.
Our class was so naughty.
Yeah.
They said that we didn't. There's no other class that could overtake us for naughtiness. So like, we managed. So our target was to stress teachers out to quit.
Wow.
That's how
evil.
naughty we were.
That's evil, bro.
Bro, our class was different. I get some of the guys to see if we can possibly message in like their own stories. But like we used to have like throwing scissors and pens around the classroom. We used to like constantly go to the teacher's computer and like close down tabs and stuff. And we knew how the systems work, so we'd make him lose the work that he had to do, so we didn't have to do schoolwork. Bro, I'm telling you, our class was stressed.
That's
the
crazy.
hell out of
And
them,
who was
man.
the teacher like? I mean, like, what was it? A supply teacher or like a real?
No, basically the supply teachers would come in, cover,
Yeah.
but then they'll get the job, and we didn't like them, so we'd try to get rid of them.
Oh, mad.
Like we had to have a teacher that
It
was
wasn't
on our
Mr. White
level.
by any chance, was it?
Mr. Hopkins, bro.
Oh, that's peaky outed him. He fully outed him.
There's so many Mr. Hopkins. Everyone's had a Mr. Hopkins at some point, bro.
Yeah.
Every school's had a Mr. Hopkins. Like I'm gonna say.
What was the third one?
The third one was there was a thing that we had. Our year was very multicultural, very very multicultural. There was a thing called non-racial. It was just for fun. It was blacks and whites versus Asians play fight. Yeah. The funniest thing was when it came to it in the field.
Not
the-
racial.
the-
when
I
you
was a
clearly
Somali.
divided
No.
I was a Somali.
by
association.
race.
It was just a way to make teams to do something. Yeah. It was just
Every
it wasn't
school
deep.
did
It
man.
really
Every
wasn't
school
deep.
did
It really
No,
wasn't
we
deep.
never
I'm
did
not
that.
saying
Yeah.
no school did it.
We
man.
never did that.
You only
Yeah.
have majorities in
It
your
was
No,
just
we had
it was
best
just a thing.
Somalis and
As you said, we're kids, so like there isn't
Yeah,
a
of
thing
course,
like you don't
like,
mean
yeah,
it that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
fun. It was funny. It wasn't even like you didn't hurt anyone. It was just like play fighting, wrestling, few punches here and there. And what was funny was the white guys used to be like, "Oh, Sully, who are you gonna join? The white guys or the Asians?" And I'd look at the Asian lads, and they were so short on numbers, so short because not everyone was backing it. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna join these guys." And we used to do that. And once, imagine a teacher come out and they just see a group of guys just brawling each other on the field, yeah. And we're year 11, so we're supposed to be like, the inspiration for all these young kids and stuff. And they don't know if it's serious or not because the way we used to fight was it used to look serious. So they put all of us in a classroom, all of us. And imagine you think, okay, we've learned our lesson, we're gonna get in deep trouble now. The teacher leaves for 1 minute, yeah. And all of a sudden we all start like raging, start doing like football chants. We start singing so loud in the corridor. The teacher comes back and he just starts switching at us.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. Like when I think about it like that, if anyone from Judge Meadow like listens to this, they would know how like mad our year was, man. We were just always up to no good, always. But you know what? I don't regret it one bit.
Nah,
I learned a lot. I learned a lot from it. Meaning I obviously wouldn't do anything like that. But like if I have if I have kids one day and they're naughty, I'd understand where they're coming from. Like just be a kid, man. It was
One
really
thing I'd
naughty.
say, yeah, is don't bully the fat guy, bro.
Yeah.
I was a fat guy in class, and I used to get fired, bro. Like, and the violations were endless.
Yeah, that's because bullies go for the easy, innit?
Yeah. they
Bro,
go
I
for
was
it.
like, I'm not even gonna say like, because alhamdulillah, where I am now compared to then is that different, innit? Like, I'm not gonna even say like, I regret anything, but like, I was bullied differently, yeah. So like, with our class being the most naughtiest, there's like one guy, I'm not gonna name him, but there's one guy who'd always start like, yo, Nanaba, like let's get Nanaba, bro. Like I was like, if you imagine Simpsons, yeah, do you remember when Homer was getting chased by the whole village?
Yeah,
That was me
yeah,
in
yeah.
school, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
You know,
days.
I can relate to the bullying, man. Like, I used to get bullied, like just general, picking on like as a quiet kid, as one that's not so confident. But I remember like, for me, like the peak of bullying was in like year 9.
Same, yeah, 9 or 10.
Year 9, bro. Imagine maths was my subject. Like it was, I used to I used to love it. Yeah. So I used to sit next to on my table. Imagine this, bro. The skinniest guy in the whole of the year, if not in the whole of the school, and the shortest guy in the whole of the year. they used to bully me. Imagine that, bro. What is that? So,
We got bullets.
and what it was, they used to make me hate math class. And obviously, like I didn't tell anyone. I didn't feel the need to tell anyone. In hindsight, I probably should have. And but the thing is, yeah, like they used to just like it wasn't even real stuff. Like they used to spend, bro. If I tell you the rumor, yeah, they used to sell. You might have to bleep the word out. But the rumor they used to spread was that they used to say to me, I heard your dad has a kebab shop and the kebabs are made of foreskin. Now, obviously, that's a stupid rumor. Who's going to believe it? But basically, the skinny kid used to be part of like one of the main like group of like lads, like the, you know what I mean? That thought they were all it and they just didn't understand like human interaction and stuff. And so obviously he's part of that group, so they used to like echo that. So when I'm like out and about, they used to say it and shout it and stuff. And obviously like I used to ignore it for the most part, but it used to affect me in math because they sat right next to me and it's just like constant, ongoing. And I remember the funny thing is, yeah, the skinny kid used to live 2 doors away from me, literally just round the corner. So
Mad.
we used to see each other quite a bit, and he knows my dad. He sees my dad,
That's mad.
and
He used to join in on it.
no, what the hell?
I thought
My
it
dad
was-
didn't know about it. So that was kind of weird and awkward. And the other kid, imagine this, yeah, he's the shortest kid. He's a very smart kid and very good at sports. And I remember one day, I was walking back. We used to pretty much walk back the same way. And I was either walking or cycling, and he was walking, and I caught up to him, and he was crying. Yeah. So I went up to him. I said, "Why are you crying?" And he goes, "Oh, this guy stole my football. Is it shootouts? The football cards, shootouts,
Match tax, yeah.
Shoot out how much that?
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
So I think at that time it was match tax, and I think he said, "Oh, he stole all my best cards," and he showed me his cards because I've only got these dead cards left. So bro, imagine, yeah, he was bullying me throughout the whole of year 9. This is still during year 9. I walked with him, and I consoled him like all the way till he got to his house. I was like, "Bro, chill out, it's just cards, like, you know, like making sure he's okay and he's got home okay." But he still could, like, for him it was just normal. Next day, like next week, he was back to how it was. And for me, that really struck a nerve. Like, bro, like I was there with you. I didn't have to be there with you, despite everything you did to me. But obviously, like I was a kid who didn't take things to heart. Like I never had anything against them in my heart, anyways. Even like after school and if I see them out and about, like there's nothing against them. But for me, that was like bullying. Like when I really felt at a peak. And the other thing is, yeah, like just in general, like last thing I want to say about school. Actually, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna show you guys. But last thing about school is I used to be the floater. So I didn't have a designated group of friends. I used to be a floater. So I used to get on with everyone. I used to get along with the biggest kids, the bullies of the school. I used to get along with the nerds. I used to get along with everyone. Like if it was ever need for me to like chill with them or talk to them, we could. Like I used to sell chocolates and caps, snapbacks in school. So I remember like, bro, this kid was 6 foot. Yeah, so he can easily now like grab my money, grab all the chocolates and get off. But because I was a floater and like I could get along with everyone, he would like approach me and say, "Yo, you got chocolates," and buy it off me. And we had that level of respect, and I found that quite shocking, quite surprising, considering I used to get bullied by the most skinniest and shortest kids in school. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I brought this. So I don't know if you guys wanna like have a look at it. There's probably some stuff on it that you can't show the camera, but I've never shown this to anyone.
You kept it.
But
Wow.
I've
yeah,
got
so
mine
it's
as
like
well. Why
it's
didn't
like
we-
it's
I got
like
rid of mine.
on the last day of year 11, like you get your T-shirt and you get it
Let's have a
signed by
look,
bro. You can read a few out if you want, but there's probably 1 or 2 that shouldn't be read out loud.
Salahi Ben, your glasses are thick.
They still are.
I hope that you enjoy English at A level. It's been a real pleasure teaching you, plus watching your confidence grow. Very best of luck.
Only if you knew you were a
What's that
star
name?
at Waves of
His childhood.
Positivity.
I didn't do it. You know what? I picked English, but when I went, I dropped it. I didn't do it.
Sex, weight, and protein
That's
shakes.
the one you're not meant to read out, man.
I know, man. That's alright. That's PG.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I started to get into weight and protein shake back in year 11, but the sex, I don't know where he got that from.
No, he's talking about your gender. Your gender's a sex, right?
Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
Oh, I should have bought my
Yeah.
shirt now. I feel like I should have bought my shirt, but
It
man,
says the B word.
yeah, no,
Oh,
man
yeah,
has
this
jokes.
one. So this one, I will never forget. So basically, one time, so it says one eyebrow raising bastard. Basically, what it was, yeah, I used to be, well, I can raise one eyebrow, yeah. So it was a thing
Like
that
The
not many
Rock.
people could do.
The Rock, yeah.
And this one guy, I was in year 9 or 10, and this one guy in year 11, or the year above me, we used to chill together sometimes. And basically, because I could do that, he nicknamed me that, and it stuck. And like other friends, other people in my year used to call me like, because it's like Rock could do the one eyebrow, they used to call me Sully Rock. Or they used to call me like Sully the Dwayne something, I can't remember.
I love
Pebble,
this
the Pebble.
one. Sully, keep pumping weights and protein kebabs from Dev.
Bro, I started the gym weight from year 11, bro. Back
She
in
badly
the day.
stopped it, eh?
True,
They'll be
bad.
disappointed.
Man's
All
making
of
weights
you
from
guys.
day. Do you know what's funny on my one? Yeah, I should have brought it. On the way to school that day to get it all signed, I bumped into Eves and Haroon that go to Lanky. They went Lancaster boys, so they were the first ones to sign it.
No way.
So when I went to school, already signed with Eves and Haroon on my top, yeah. Some people were like, "Yo, who are these guys? Who are they now? Yeah, who signed it?" And I was like, "Nah, these are my guys like from Highfield, because walking through Highfield to school that day." So imagine they signed it and they're from a completely different school. That was funny, man. Like that was jokes. So this question is very, very interesting, and I'll be intrigued to know what you guys would have to say. It is. Oh, actually, sorry, man. Before we go into, I have to read out the 2 answers from our followers. So we have actually. I know it by heart. Yeah, we've actually got 2 answers on Instagram that I want to read out. Handpicked answers out of all of the ones that we had. One of them was a guy. One guy said they emptied a pack of peanuts by throwing it at someone until he fell on the floor.
Wow.
Peanuts. Imagine if he was allergic to that.
Ooh,
That's
you put a
rude.
dog turn in that one.
That's
We used to,
rude.
do you know what? We used to do that, but in college, but with jelly beans. So
Okay.
there's a store inside the shop in Kiwi, and we used to buy the jelly beans, and we go upstairs and like it's a massive sort of seating area. Metro section. So we all sit there, and basically we used to get jelly beans and just dash at everyone.
Yeah.
We did it. Basically, we eat the flavors we like, and then the flavors we don't like, just chuck it at people. And at the end of the day, the whole place, the floor is just full of jelly beans, bro.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dude. And then there was another answer here by someone else that said that they had to shake the tables in geography to pretend that there was an earthquake.
Bro,
That's kind of awkward.
as in, that is what the teacher told them.
Like everyone in the classroom shaking the tables. Like
That's jokes.
that's just, you will always have that one teacher that would do that. That one teacher just makes you do some stupid stuff. And it
Yeah,
just makes,
so
and then when
weird.
you look back at it, it's like, what just
I used to
happened?
have a weird geography teacher as well, you know.
My geography teacher was blessed, Mr. Hall. Shout out Mr. Hall. He was blessed. He used to diss us, like we used to diss each other. He used to put us 4 naughty lads in the front row of the thing, and we used to roast each other all the time, man. that was jokes. I love Judge Meadow, man. I would
I
never
actually
choose
miss school,
otherwise.
man.
I
I
miss
miss school,
secondary
man.
school so much, man. But I'm in touch with a lot. Are you guys in touch with a lot of people from
Yeah.
secondary? I'm still in touch with a lot of people from my year, man. Like a lot.
You see, the thing is, the problem, or the way it depends how you look at it. The problem being a floater is you don't build a deep rooted connections. So, yeah, when I see him about or like on social media, like here and there, hi bye. But in terms of having a conversation or like, you know, it doesn't exist, unfortunately.
Fair enough. So this is the intrigued question that I wanted to ask you guys. What would your 14-year-old self be proud about of what you do today?
Lost weight.
Yeah.
That's a sick one, man.
Yeah,
That's a
man,
big
lost
one,
weight.
man.
So if
And
you were
actually
14-year-old
became
right now and you
confident,
saw
yeah.
yourself, 23-year-old,
Oh, I'd love
Aadil
to, man.
Suly,
I'd be so
handsome
proud.
young man,
I'd be so proud.
you'd be proud. That would be the thing, yeah.
So proud.
Would you feel like, bro, I can't believe that. Is that how I look?
Bro, when I was 14, yeah, I had good friends and everything, but I never had like a best friend. Now I've got like 3 or 4 best friends. Like friends I know would be at my funeral if I was to pass away. And I've lost weight, got in good shape. I turned out to be a relatively decent looking dude. I'd be so proud of myself, man.
Look, it's alright. You can say you're very hot. You're very hot young.
No,
man.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that about myself, man. No. If you wouldn't
Yeah?
say it, though, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, is that what the smell of Jannah says? Is that what the smell of Jannah says? Let's see. What would you be proud about?
So we're saying thing that we're proud
If
about.
you're 14-year-old, if you're a 14-year-old and you could see yourself right now, what would you be proud of?
See, if you ask the question at a different age, I'll be able to answer it. But 14, like I didn't really like think about the future much. But
Okay.
I'd say
What other age would you say?
You
then?
weren't deep at 14.
no.
This guy's the deepest guy you'll
Okay,
know.
year 11 then,
No,
like
like,
15.
no, okay, we'll stick to we'll just like if the 14-year-old version of me met me today, I think like he would be most proud of the level of confidence that I have now, because
You're pretty confident handing out ghost pepper
Oh no,
chilies
no,
to people, bro.
no,
What?
no, bro. Do you know how I used to be so shook to ask when I used to go out to like eat? I used to tell like my friend or my mom, "Can you ask for the ketchup?" That's how shy I used to be. So It was a real problem for me at times.
So you see yourself do public speaking, and you
Bro, my
"Whoa."
first
Talking
ever,
in front of
no,
camera.
the thing is
weekly.
though, like I always had this, like it was something inside me that always wanted to like expand and grow. So my first ever public speaking was in year 11 when I was 15, and it was in front of all the teachers from my school, no students, all the teachers. And I remember like I was prepping for the speech, and I loved the process, like writing down the speech, like rehearsing it, and like delivering it and making people laugh and engaging the audience. That's when I like was like, yo,
So you want to be a process guy, haven't you?
yeah, I was like, I want to do this. I didn't know how or like in what field, but I always knew like I wanted to be a
Leadership.
speaker or of some sort.
Look at him now.
It was actually to become like school president, but I lost a popularity contest.
Were you ever a prefect?
What was I ever?
Prefect.
What's that?
Prefect?
Prefect,
Like
head
the-
student.
Oh no, I didn't win, bro.
Student
I
rank.
came second.
Oh.
I came second. So
So that basically is prefect sort of thing.
Yeah.
no, I didn't. I wasn't part of the committee. I was.
No, but like you
No, I
tried
was-
to go for it.
Oh yeah, I tried to go for like head boy, like president.
So
but
head boy is same as
President, yeah.
prefect.
So vice president, yeah.
no, I didn't. I wasn't part of the committee. I was.
Fair
I
enough.
was like, if you didn't pick me, I don't want to be part of this.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Good.
There was no such thing as vice head boy or anything like that. So yeah.
Fair enough, man. For me, I would be proud of my work ethic, man. Honestly,
100.
I'd be proud of what I'm doing now because realistically, back in school, as you said, I was selling chocolates and sweets and drinks and everything. That was like I used to love that. To see myself now still doing something very very similar, like buying, selling, or selling a service as we do now, making money, my own business. I'd be well proud of myself. And another thing I'd be proud of is ways of positivity, man. Like I wouldn't have in mind. I used to help people. It was a passion. It was a passion to do that, but it wasn't because you're still a kid. You're still like you.
Yeah.
You were
it's
that
like
popular
persona.
guy who used to help
It's not
everyone else
persona.
out as well.
Yeah, as much as you can. But like, I'd be if I saw ways of positivity now, what radio? No way could I speak on radio. No way could I do public speaking. No way I'll be in the in unis like delivering workshops.
Yeah.
So yeah, alhamdulillah, I'll be proud of that. For
That's
myself.
cool, man.
Yeah. And this is a mind play question that I have. I don't know if you lot would deep it as much as I'd have, but this is a yes or no answer. Which one over the other? You can't be like, no, this is different. Would you say that being a child was a better life than being an adult?
Nah.
Why? As he's synchronizing this deep into his tissue of his brain. Why?
Because when you're a child, as a society, you're not allowed to do set things. But as an adult, you can still be a child and do whatever you want. I think there's a lot more given to you and a lot more opportunities, a lot more things that you can do being an adult, but still behaving like a child if you want to.
Are you happier now than you were as a child?
100%, man.
Love the answer.
So much.
I think it's a paradox that most people share. In that, when you're a child, you want to be an adult because you want to do things that you can't do, and when you're an adult, you want to be a kid again because you don't want the responsibilities. But if I had to pick, I would say I prefer the adult life because, like you say, you choose if you want to be a child at heart or not, and you can do the things that you were doing as a child and also manage your responsibilities. So yeah, I'll definitely pick adult, man.
I love that answer.
I'm an adult with money, but spends it like a child. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, love that.
Bro,
no, especially being a child, like choosing to be one. Like, I still play PlayStation, man, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I was still doing that as a child. Still do sleepovers. We all go out, Airbnb, Brighton, whatever.
For real,
Still
man.
do. So it's like for me, the vibes are still there. The only thing I miss about child, as I said, was like there's no timer on your life. There's no like how I got a diary now and I track my days and do this. It was just free life. That was the only difference. But adult
You
life,
just didn't have to make something like yourself when you're a child.
adult life, 100%, man. Alhamdulillah, happy. But I do get these feelings every now and then. I want to be a child again.
Nostalgia, it's normal.
Nostalgia,
man.
yeah. I want to go back to them times, but it doesn't mean it was better. I'd say being an adult was better.
Yeah.
And growing, we're still young. We're still all very young, alhamdulillah. So, we've still got a long life, inshallah, to go towards. And I think because we are happy people, we appreciate a lot, and many of the listeners can resonate with this as well. I feel like they will have a happy life, and they can agree with that as well. Because most people, honestly, people that probably choose to be a child again, maybe because at the moment in time they have answered that question, they have a lot of stress, or they just feel like, you know what, I'm just going to give up with life, I'm done with it, I just want to be a child again. So it's like running away from your problems rather than encountering them and finding a solution.
Can I ask one final question?
Please.
What was your favourite game as a child?
As in like a console
Just
game?
one word
or
answer.
any
Anything, bro. One answer.
Playing
Favourite
outside.
game?
Playing outside was my
Yeah,
favourite
I
game. If
think-
you want to give me something that was most fun, playing outside all day long.
Yeah, but what's the activity playing outside? So it's got to be one thing. You can't just niche it down to playing outside.
Missions,
Missions, yeah?
Missions, like just going on an adventure and doing whatever.
Yeah, I think that's not a game though, is it?
Favorite
Like,
game?
it's favorite activity.
So if you had to choose
Favorite
between
activity.
Crazy Bones and Match Attacks,
Anything, just one thing.
Bro,
that you
we're gonna
just
go
love.
down another rabbit hole. and start
Ratchet and
talking
Clank
about
was
that.
my favourite PlayStation 2 game.
Alright, so his favorite game, yeah, Ratchet and Clank. What's yours?
Yeah, Ratchet
Okay, wait.
and
Let's do it like this. Yeah, favorite activity missions. Favorite video
Answer the
game.
question, does he?
Favorite. I answer my own question. Favorite video game. Midnight Club 2. Hands down, it still is my favorite game. No one can change that. Nothing can change that, unless they remake it, which they never will. Favorite outdoor game. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but I used to love playing like Cops and Robbers and Stuck in the Mud. I used to love playing them. Favorite like indoor game was I used to just wrestling.
Yeah.
Is that a game?
Yeah,
just wrestling.
works, man,
yeah.
works. Hands down, the best game of all time is hand tennis. No one can
Yeah.
change my mind, bro. The way you used to die pretending you were flipping Edwin van der Sar or Peperina. I used to throw my 14-stone body across the floor, pam. I used to think I was moving crazy.
like a Power Ranger.
Everything, bro.
Okay.
Power Rangers. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
Fast and Furious as well, man.
Oh,
We have to do a
yeah.
separate episode talk about just the games, man. We can go all
Yeah,
day.
even watching, like first time you went to cinemas with your friends and stuff, we can
Bro,
talk about that all day.
Spider-Man. First time I watched Spider-Man.
you-
My
you know
mind
what?
went.
You know what, lads? Should we make a truce on this that we'll do a part 2 of this childhood one? Just talking about
But
memories.
you know what we'll do?
and stuff.
We'll actually try playing some of the games as a little segment thingy, bro.
Yeah, let's do that.
Try playing the
Yeah.
game or something.
This is an intro to the childhood and memories nostalgia series. Last closing remark is a good question. I think it'd be good, very beneficial to any 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds out there, secondary school. What would one piece of advice be to a 14-year-old as you are now? So you are advising. What would just be one piece of advice? They haven't asked you for advice. You're just going to tell them one thing. We've all been through it. Someone has told us,
I'll go
kid
first,
do this,
man. I know what
kid
I'm
do
gonna
that,
say, bro.
kid do this. What would you say?
Be bold and be yourself unapologetically. Just be yourself, however you are, man. Appreciate and accept who you are, but just be yourself as much as you can.
Beautiful. Love that.
To a young adolescent out there, I would say ask every single question that comes across your mind. Just ask. No matter how stupid you think it is, always ask the damn question.
The advice that I'd give to a 14-year-old would be to not try to be an adult so soon, so quickly. Like, yes, you can mature, there are levels of maturity, but don't try to be a 20-year-old when you're 14. Like, you've got such a long life ahead of you. You're only going to be 14 once in your life. You're only going to be in secondary school for once. So don't try to grow up too quickly. Just enjoy the moment that you have right now. Second piece of advice from my own experience is to not take on all the stress that you're getting from teachers or from adults that try to tell you you need to worry about this, you need to start making sure that you're getting ready for this. Like, you're only 14. You're going to want to like have the fun and leisures of life, as well as trying your best, which I agree to, in your GCSEs, in school, in football, in mosque, after school studies, and etc. So yeah, just live your life and just hope for the best. But try your best, but just live as time goes, because you're still really, really young. This is the childhood episode by your favorite trio, as I always like to say. Do subscribe now as you're watching. Give this video a like. Check us out on Instagram at Ways of Positivity Official, and we'll see you on our page. Ask us any question that you have.
And share this to all your friends.
Friends
Please.
and family. Peace. Take care.